Squad, is your boy E, back at it again with another dope legendary video. And today we have this beautiful 2021 Hyundai Elantra with us. We do know that for the past 5 years that Hyundai has been the best selling compact car in the market, and today we're going to review it. And if you're one of the people that wanted to know if the Hyundai is the car for you, or you have actually settled into buying a Hyundai, you don't know which trim package to buy, in this video I'm going to help you out. And if you are new to this channel, and we do pretty cool car video like this one, and if you have not subscribed, I would recommend you to subscribe right now. And don't forget, if you find that video very informative and helpful, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comment box below. And with that being said, let this video start. Now we are actually in the front of the Hyundai Elantra. As we can notice, is we have a gigantic front grille, which is a black grille that we have in the front with some beautiful LED headlights. If you have not watched the Sonata video that I actually did, the design of the headlights is a little bit different in the Elantra, as we do cover that the last time. In the Sonata, we have the headlight that actually went all the way up into the hood, but this one's a little bit different. As you can see, the headlight itself, but it's still a beautiful design, because we do know that the 2021 is a full body redesign, interior and exterior. And if we look on the other side, it's pretty much identical. And down here we have actually a functional vent. The purpose of the grille is to cool off your engine. So we're going to cover what type of engine transmission that we have in just a little bit. But let's jump on the side so we can cover exactly what are the tire sizes we have in this car. With that being said, let's go. One thing I can actually notice is once we get on the side is the beautiful black rims that we have that actually match perfectly with the smoke gray color of this car itself. And now we have the tire size of 205, 55, 16 all around this vehicle. This car is pretty nice, man. I think this one is a redesign. Everything is redesigned. We see a whole bunch of lines in this car that make this car very unique and very stylish. So if you're actually looking to get into a Hyundai Elantra, I think made the right decision. So with that being said, you guys, we're going to dive in the back so I can show you a few design of the trunk and how much trunk space do we have, how the tail light look. So let's jump in the back real quick. All right, now we are in the back of the Elantra. The first thing we can notice is the back of the car is a completely redesigned. I really like what the Hyundai been doing with the designing of the new models or the latest models. So if you can notice in the back here, this kind of give you like a little slope or a hatchback look, preferably like a hatchback look. As you can notice, is it seems like the glass goes all the way down here. If you notice, this is not a glass, it's a plastic. It just to mimic or to shadow the glass or the black tone glass that's in the back all the way down here. So which I think I like a lot. And if you can notice, is we have a strip bar in the back just like the Sonata in the back here, and they put a little button in the back where you should open the trunk. So if you don't have your key, you just press the button here and this open your trunk. So your key has to be always closed by your side in your pocket in order for you to exercise this, unless if the doors are open. So we can close it back up, but just let's take a look at it one more time to see how much trunk space do we have. As you can see right here, this is pretty spacious. It's fairly spacious. So if you want to put anything in the back, let's close the trunk. So what else do we have back here? We do not have back sensors in the SEL. So if you go into the limited package, you would have a little bit more option as far as a bigger exhaust tip, and you also have back sensors. As you can see here, this is pretty simple. You only have the reflector light, the red reflector light in the back, and you don't have anything else. But I wouldn't really miss it much because you have a lot more feature on the interior, which we're going to actually dive into a little bit. But let's look on the other side so you can see this car is a pretty sexy car. It's well designed. So if I want to give you like a walk around real quick before we dive on the inside, so take a look at this. If you can notice, is we have some super line, thick line that you definitely can notice. And I think this took a long time to redesign. But however, we're going to dive on the inside so I can talk a little bit more about how they redesigned the whole interior of the Hyundai Elantra. With that being said, let's dive on the inside right now. Yeah. A lot of you might think I was just going to walk inside without covering the key option that we have. Of course, I do cover all the key options you have in any car that I review. If you can notice right here, we have the key fob in our hands. The key fob actually have quite a bit options, so it's actually a little bit more updated than the Sonata that we did the review for. If you can notice here, this car you can actually remotely start your car once you see this little button here. So the first thing we need to do is we'll lock this door, and we hold this button here as it says hold. The next thing you know, your car is actually on. So now the second option you have with your key is you have the keyless entry. So now you do not have to have your key in your hands or necessarily to take the key out to open your door. You only press this button here, boom, you open your door, and you have easy access on the interior. All right, now we're looking at the door right here. The first thing I can notice is the beautiful design of the speaker. I actually admire that look. And right here, the door handle actually different from the Hyundai Sonata. So this is the typical way of you closing your door. And if you can notice here, this is the switch for all of the windows, and you can adjust your mirror. And we do know in the SEL, you do not have power seats where you can actually move your seats. You would actually manually have to adjust the seat lower or higher, or you press the bar in the front that we have right here to actually, move your chair forward, backwards. There's a little metal right here. Okay, so and the second thing that we can actually notice before we dive on the inside right here, we have lane keeping assistant. Lane keeping assistant is to help the car actually driving safe. There's a lot more cool features in this car that I really like, you guys. I'm going to dive into while I'm going to drive this car, because I'm definitely going to drive it. That way I can demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. Not only you would get a hands on what I'm saying, and you would see it yourself. All right, so let's dive on the inside so I can actually show you a little bit more design of the interior. Now we are on the interior. The first funny thing, or what I think that might be cool to you guys, is the little bar they put on the side that is mimicking the redesign of the Corvette. So if you can see here, we have a strip bar down here, which you could probably use as a handle to hold if you're in a curvy road or you're making a short turn. You can hold on to it. But besides that, I don't see no other purpose to it, but I think it's pretty cool. It's okay, don't bother me. And also add that no design on the interior. And the second thing that we can notice is the gear stick. It is a no design, and it's shaped differently, and I think I like the way it actually look. So now the first thing that we want to talk about as far as features and technology this car comes with, you have drive mode. You have actually 3 modes in this car. You have the normal mode, and you have the sport mode, and also the smart mode. So now we're going to cover a little bit more about the different modes of what they can do and what they cannot do. But let's now talk about the infotainment screen. So now if you get the higher trim package as the inline or the limited, you have a bigger screen, which is about 10-inch or 8-inch screen. I'm not quite sure. I would actually display the right amount of size and the screen somewhere around. And you will also have a digital gauge. So now this gauge, or the normal gauge cluster, where you have the gas tank in the middle of the display for the miles, and also the gauge where you can actually see the amount of miles, the amount of gas miles you have left, and of course to show how many miles you have in your car. So now let's talk about the infotainment screen. So what can you do with your infotainment screen? There's not really much you can do in this actually package, which is the SEL. So you don't have no Apple CarPlay, you don't have an Android sound or audio, you don't have any of that option, but you definitely have a Bluetooth where you connect your phone and use it when you get a call, or press the command mode, and you can command your radio, your phone, or whatever you want to set it up for. There's a feature called recirculate air. They call recirculate air. When you click the recirculate air, you have a couple options in the recirculate air. So the first option you have is the active up on the washer fluid, right? So if you click that, it gives you the option to actually activate up on your washer fluid, is to automatically prevent the washer fluid scent from entering your cabin. So now I think this is pretty cool how they actually go in detail about if they want you to smell the flu scent, or if you don't want to smell it, and you have that option in there, which I think that's pretty cool. And this kind of showed me that they actually pay attention to a little bit of details, which I admire that a lot. So now there's really not much other thing you can do with your car. You do not have navigation, and What you do have in this package, you have the Wi-Fi option where you can actually have Wi-Fi in your car. You just got to activate your account and you are good to go. So looking in the lower part down here, we can see the display for your AC. So we have some dual AC down here where you can actually control your AC speed by just pressing this button here, and you can control the temperature of the inside. And we have a couple USB port in different ways you can actually charge your phone. You have the USB port down here, and you have the car charger option. And down here also we have a cup holder, 2 cup holders, and as you can see here we have a little ashtray cup, so for the smokers. So actually Hyundai say, I got you, you don't have to buy one yourself. They actually implement one right here, and you have a little the handrest got a little storage at the bottom, which is not the biggest and is not the smallest. As you know, this is a compact car, and this is the glove compartment, and this is the cloth seats where you can get the leather seats if you actually upgrade to a higher trim package. But if you can notice here, we have the vents right here. The design go all across the dashboard, but you only have 3 functional vents, so which is actually up to 4. You have one on the side right here, and you have the second one right here, the third one here, and the fourth one is on this side. But as you can see here, it seems like the whole vent design go all across the dashboard, which I actually admire that. So this is not actually vent, it's actually a fake design to mimic the way the vent look, which I think I admire that design a lot. So let's jump in the back real quick so I can show you, how much room we have in the back, and then after that we're going to take this car for a drive so I can tell you a little bit about what type of engine transmission that we have in this car. All right, as we're going in the interior, so as you can notice here, there's really not much interesting thing on the side of the door beside the door handle. To open the door is in chrome design, and you have the power switch for your windows. And back here again is cloth seats, but let's sit in the back right here. This is pretty spacious, to be honest. Surprisingly, I thought it would be a little bit more smaller. And back here we do not have vents, so if you actually get the trim package from the inline to the limited, you would have the vent in the back. So you do not have vents, and you would have option to have a leather seat if you like the leather seat. But I think in South Florida the cloth seat is just fine. And there's no storage back here. I think it helps with the kids, and this is actually plastic. So again, if you have some kids sitting back here that can kick, scratch, whatever it is, it won't actually rip your seats if it is a cloth seats back here or leather seats, which I think I like that, especially for the people with the kids. So besides that, you guys, there's really not much that is too interesting about this car. So I'm actually going to take you on the road, so that way we can talk about a little bit more about what type of engine transmission you have and what other safety feature that this car comes with. Now we are driving inside the 2021 Hyundai Elantra. The first thing that I want you to know is this is a 4-cylinder engine that comes with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission that can actually provide you 147 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 132 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM, which actually give us a pretty good gas mileage, which is 31 city and 41 highway. And again, this is not bad. So now let's talk a little bit about the safety feature that we have. As you can notice down here, I let go of the steering wheel, right? And the car actually continues driving. If you can notice here, the steering wheel actually making some type of movement by itself. Even though I let go of the steering wheel, you guys, as I'm not going too fast, I'm going about 30 miles an hour right now. I want to go a little further more so I can actually show you how the steering wheel actually turning by itself. And if you can notice down here, it's going to tell you exactly when for me to hold on the steering wheel, when it's going off lane. Even though it's still going to actually do the work for me, I want you to pay attention to the steering wheel and the little square right here. That way you can actually see what I'm talking about. So that is the driving assistant. The driving assistant, which is almost the autopilot. So as you can notice here, pay attention to the steering wheel right here. I don't hold it, right? It's actually going off lane a little bit. Let me turn it. It's going off lane a little bit. See how it's turning by itself? It's actually turning. I think I actually like that safety. Some people may not really like that safety, but it actually helps if you are the person that like to multitask and you don't want to hold your steering wheel every 2 seconds. or sometimes you're probably going to actually let go of the steering wheel. So this is actually a great feature to have in your car. So, and also you have the lane departure assistant, and you have the blind side warning. So if you're driving and you don't see the car coming next to you, as you can notice right here, you see it's actually telling me that I was going to make like a wrong turn. It just the sun is too bright, but it's actually helping me out. And I've yet to hold my steering wheel because it's actually literally turning for me. As you can notice here, it's actually turning, right? And it's telling me keep hands on steering wheel, right? Because it's actually doing a little bit too much work for me, and the car is actually telling me to keep my hands on the steering wheel. So let's notice here, there's a little turn up there, right? So I'm not touching my steering wheel. As you can notice here, the car is actually turning. If you can notice here, the car is turning for me, right? Now it's telling me it's doing too much work, so I have to take control. Now I take control, the sound goes away. But in general, you guys, I think this Elantra is a great car to have, and you have enough space. It is not too small, it's not too big, because this actually body design is bigger than the previous generation. So if you were to get a car, a compact, this won't really feel like as small as the compact car usually be. But hey, it is a Hyundai Elantra, and you know exactly what to do. So if I were to get the Hyundai Elantra, I would actually start thinking about the inline, so which is pretty cool. And on the dashboard, we have exactly 160. We got 160 on the dashboard. Hey, it's not a race car, but nevertheless, you have that option if you want to put it on sport mode and push. Let's push. Let's push. All right, all right, all right. Oh, why? All right, all righty, all righty. All right, it's not a race car now. It's not a race car. I gotta slow down now. All right. So, however, you guys, if you feel that video was actually informative and it actually helped you in or some sort, don't forget to give the thumbs up, like this video, and comment. Tell me what you think about this car. So, with that being said, I'll catch you back in another video.